What would you say is one of your proudest moments with your daughter, or of course multiple? I know there's multiples.
There are. Okay, so I would say my first proudest moment with Asia was when she graduated, or they did the exit interview from behavioral therapy.
Okay.
So she was at the behavioral therapy learning center for I think 6 years, 6 or 6.5 years, from the age of 2. And so they said, hey, she's met all her goals. She does not need this therapy anymore. And like I say, I know that therapy is quite controversial, but for us, I mean, we were very hands-on. They were in our home for like a year working with Asia, so we could see them and we heard, how they worked with her. They were
Yep.
very instrumental in helping her do things like uh, get potty trained. They also helped her to accept no, which I didn't even know what the point of that was at first, but they was like, no, she needs to learn how to accept no. Sometimes the answer may be no to something,
Mhm.
so that she doesn't have a meltdown or like spaz out or
Yeah.
anything. And so they helped her with that, taught her how to wait, and
Mhm.
just to kind of reduce the impulsivity that comes along with her and her diagnosis and things like that. So once she graduated from there, yeah, that's important. And they did a little graduation ceremony. It was just for her, and they snuck and put her on a cap and gown and took pictures of her on the playground like a couple of days earlier, and then they put it in a picture frame for me. It was so nice. I was crying like a baby.
Oh, that's so cute.
It
That's
was
so cute.
so nice, I'm telling you. And it was like I think it was July before last
Mhm.
that she finished there. So that was definitely one of my proudest moments. And because I know how far she had come at that point, and I was just so excited. I was scared too, though. I
Yeah.
was nervous to now have her with me full time,
Mhm.
because she was going there, not full time, but she was going there like on a part time basis, like 4 days a week, like 4 hours a day, roughly.
Oh,
And then, so just the thought of her having to be with me full time now,
mhm.
it was a little scary. And then me not having them to lean on, because they were like my little support team, where I would be able to call them like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. How do I stop her? She trying to, put this darn Play-Doh in her mouth. She trying to eat the Play,
Yeah.
and they would be the ones that I would call whenever it was something that I needed, help with, and that guidance. And so I was nervous about it, but
Mhm.
we're doing fine. We're almost 2 years, outside of that. And she's been homeschooled.
Mhm.
She started homeschooling while she was with them. Because remember, this was a behavioral therapy learning center.
Mhm.
So it was not school. She's never been to school before.
Yeah.
But by law here in South Florida, in Florida area or whatever, by the time they turn 6 years old, by law, they have to be in some type of schooling. So she was still at the learning center, but I started homeschooling her
Mhm.
after she turned 6, and she's still homeschooling now, and she'll be 9 next month.
Wow.
So we're doing good. We're taking it one day at a time, and the transition went well.
Mhm.
We do a lot of really cool things. We're in her sensory room now, so
Yeah.
that's why y'all see all these toys and marble things and stuff back there. But we have a lot of
You're busy.
awesome tools. Yeah, oh yeah, we have a lot of awesome tools, learning tools that we use here. And she also receives a scholarship, which is through Step Up for Students, and it's the Unique Ability Scholarship that they give us access to funds. She gets almost $10,000 a year
Oh,
that
wow.
I can use to purchase like a
Mhm.
lot of stuff that's here.
That's
And
great.
yeah, sensory items, all type of things, just educational games,
Mhm.
art stuff, like you name it. So many things. And so we're grateful to them for that as
Oh,
well.
wow. And how would
Yeah.
you say that? How would someone get connected with that? I mean, do you think that
Here,
autism
here,
offers
it's
that?
a, it's a. I think it's for Florida. I think it's a Florida scholarship, and
Mhm.
the website is sufs.org, if I'm not mistaken. It's through Step Up for Students,
Mhm.
and it was called the Unique Ability Scholarship, but I think they changed the name to Family Empowerment
Okay.
scholarship. So you got to kind of click around a bit to
Mhm.
get that. But yes, that is super awesome, and we're ever so grateful for that. and it takes care of a lot of things. And you can get reimbursed for some things too. So they have like direct pay stuff where you can order things for your kid and you click it and they just ship it from the different vendors. They also have stuff that you can get reimbursed for. Like when she was in swimming lessons, I
Mhm.
pay for that up front and then they'll reimburse me through the
Oh,
scholarship. And then they also have like direct pay stuff where they'll cover certain therapies,
mhm.
like music therapy, for example. She gets music therapy. And so he's a direct pay. So I just put it in the system like, hey, we want this service from this particular company.
Mhm.
And it's actually neuromusic. I think it's neuromusic therapy. We
Okay.
love him. Mr. Trent is awesome. And they come in the home and work with her, bring all these instruments and stuff like that, but they directly pay him through the scholarship. So it's a
Wow.
lot of different things. Yeah,
Great.
super cool. Yeah.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
great tool for homeschooling a child with
Yeah.
special needs.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll get into the whole area too. Is there any tips or advice you'd like to share with for other autism parents?
Yes. One more thing. You asked
Mhm.
about another proud moment
Oh
too.
yes.
I had one more thing.
Okay.
Writing.
Oh yeah.
Another proud moment was when she started writing her name.
Mhm.
So she's been in therapy. That's occupational therapy that handles that. And so we're doing it on Zoom now, but it started in center
Okay.
when she was still at the Learning Center for Behavioral Therapy and all that. So we've been working on getting to this step of writing her name. It's just her first name, all caps. But I'm telling you, if you notice, the theme is I'm crying. I'm always crying whenever it's something good that
Oh
she's
yeah.
doing because it's just so big to me. And you know how it is as an
Mhm.
autism parent. Your autism parents out there, y'all know everything's big with us.
Yes,
But
every milestone,
oh gosh.
no matter how small.
So
Yes.
yeah, and I would say it was probably like maybe right before Christmas or something. Sometime then we're on Zoom and we're doing what we normally do.
Mhm.
And her therapist was like, we're gonna get ready to let her write her name. So typically I would model it first. I would write it first,
Mhm.
and then she would write it after me. But this time I was trying to gather up supplies, and I looked because the paper was down on the laminate was there. She was already writing it
Wow.
herself, right on her own was huge. And then we just realized too that I wasn't telling her letter by letter like ASIAH,
Mhm.
so she knows how to spell it now too.
Wow, that's so amazing. That's so
It's
great.
huge. So yes, that's my other big, proud moment. I had to get that in there. Now, thank you for letting me share that. And
Yes.
big shout out to Miss V and Miss N over at Confetti Kids. Like they knew that this was something that she could do,
Mhm.
and they pushed us to work on it. But might I add, we've been working up to this point doing lines, shapes,
Mhm. Yeah.
all the way for 7 years. So it's taken us 7 years to get to the point that let her be able to write her own name, all caps,
Wow.
but
That's
it
so
takes
great.
time. And that's why they say autism is a marathon and not a sprint.
Mhm.
Some things you just gotta pace yourself, but eventually our kids they get to where they need to be, you
Yeah,
know?
they do. Eventually they
Mhm.
do. Yes, it just takes a while, but
Yeah,
they do.
it does. Yeah.
A lot of practice, a lot of patience.
Oh yeah. Gosh. Yes. But and
Not sure
then
which one
and
comes
you
first.
oh yeah, come on.
I think the
And
patience.
yes, ma'am. And you asked me, what do you say if it's any advice that I would like to
Yeah, if you
give?
have any tips or advice
Any
for
tips?
I think
Okay.
on this spectrum.
Okay. So far as parents with a child that you may think that there's something going on, I would say immediately jump on it.
Hmm.
Don't waste time because time is of the essence with kids that may be on the autism spectrum, especially the ones that are more severe. So if you feel like it's something going on, make sure you talk to your primary care physician. Let them know your concerns. Don't take no for an answer. If you need to get a second opinion,
Hmm.
then also check into like those early intervention services. Like I said, here in South Florida, we have the Mailman Center,
Yeah.
which is at Health. And then I think in Broward, it's like Baldwin at Nova Southeastern. So those are some very good tools, very good places to start. And they have a lot of resources, a lot of referrals to help you get on the right track. So I
Okay.
would say don't waste time, jump on it. And also any referrals that you receive, use them immediately. because what you have to realize is a lot of these specialists, they have wait lists. So if you wait 6 months to use a referral that you got 6 months ago, when you call that specialist, it might be a 6 month wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now your kid is a year further behind. And
Yeah.
some of these places, like the early intervention places I mentioned, they stop servicing at like age 3. So, and then there are other places like Fiddlers and stuff like that that start. They'll pick up from that point. But those early intervention services, you can really take full advantage of if you do it immediately. So that would be my top advice to give. And then after that, I would say is acceptance is very important, and you can't really rush it.
Yeah.
But accept your child for who they are. You know, not all autistic individuals will talk. It's just what it is. Some will, some won't, you know. So we have to get to the point where we accept our children for who they are. It's not to say don't expose them. It's not to say don't get the therapies or whatever services that you see that they may need, but do not, don't try to force your child into a mold of something that they may not be equipped to be. You know, be hopeful, be prayerful, you know what I mean? Be diligent, but accept your child for who they are, you know, and love them right where they are, right? You know, and whatever else comes from it is great, you know, but if it does not get to the point where you feel it should be, I feel you do your child a disservice by not accepting them for who they are, you know, so that's like another huge thing. And then lastly, caregivers matter. Parents and caregivers, make sure you care for yourself. Take some time for yourself. There are services out there. There are respite care services that some insurances will offer, like CMS. I know they have respite care, and there are a lot of them in Broward County and things like that. So definitely take advantage of those. Those are mostly nonprofits that offer those services to give parents and caregivers a break, because, like we said before, autism is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It's a long road. You know, some autistic individuals may have a life expectancy of to be 75 years old. Here you are with a 5-year-old burning yourself out. You need all of that energy. So we have to slow down. We have to take time for ourselves. And then also, if you have a family member that's caring for an autistic person, cut them a little slack. You know, it's hard for us. You got some parents out here running on fumes, like myself. That's like literally right. I know a lot of us, right? But the ones that have children, some kids have sleep disorders. So you got some parents that are literally still on a newborn sleep schedule for the age of the child. So my child is almost 9 years old. That's 9 years almost that I've been still running on a newborn sleep schedule, you know. And so that's just some things that a lot of people don't realize. And then when the child is very behavioral or have a lot of energy, it takes a toll on the parents, you know. So be kind.
Anything.
Yes. Oh yeah. Be kind to one another, because I'm telling you, it's not, this is not a easy job, an easy job at all. No, it's not.
You know, definitely got to reach out. I mean, doing it solo is not the easiest.
I'm telling you, my heart goes out to everybody out there, and the ones that are doing it by themselves or the ones that are doing it with someone. You know, every parent situation is different. And, you know, big shout out to the autism dads out there too. It's not just about the autism moms. You got some really involved autism dads out there. And, you know, we all have a role to play with our children. So it's just very important that we be kind to one another and understand that everything that's happening is affecting all of us in different ways. And also the autism child's or individual siblings. They get overlooked a lot, you know, because we're hyper focused on the child that has more needs, and sometimes, you know, we don't pay enough attention to our children that, you know, are neurotypical, you know, because they're kind of easier, you know. So yeah, we can't forget them too.
Yeah, exactly. I actually want to touch points on that a little bit. Yeah, because I mean, with my oldest, I actually, like, I think when my oldest was about 10 years old, that's when I started to actually, like, explain to what's going on with, the other,
Hmm.
and like why they need special needs and why we don't
Yes.
have much time with them. And, so I mean, it's actually very beneficial to let the sibling, aware of what's going on. Because I know
Yeah.
sometimes parents expect the sibling to know like exactly what's going on, but they actually don't. They don't know
Right.
exactly why this is going this way, or why we have to, why you're the older, younger one, or the one with special needs is why they're acting out more. And so, I mean, it's very beneficial for parents to explain to their other
Yeah.
siblings, like, okay, this is what's going on, and this is how it's going to be, and this is why we're like this. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
it does help out a lot.
You bring them in. You let them know, hey, this is what's happening. It's not that I'm, favoring this child more,
Mhm.
but this I need to do more with this individual or this child because they need it. So it's not about showing favoritism. It may appear that way, especially depending on the age of the child and maturity of
Exactly.
the typical child, but it's not that at all. It's
That's
more
another reason why
needs.
it's good to
Hmm.
explain that because they do
Yeah.
feel like, oh,
Hmm.
it's favoritism. My parents paying more attention to this child than they are me.
Than me. Yep.
Exactly. So I
It's
mean,
true.
that's very
Oh
true.
yeah. Hmm.
And
Yes, ma'am.
also I didn't know if you want to touch points on this real quick, because I know you said your daughter has a sleep disorder. Did you want to actually touch points? Because I actually think my son might have a sleep disorder because he doesn't like
Yeah.
going to bed until like, I've been working on his schedule for a long time, but also I know kind
Yeah.
of like the kids on the spectrum, they kind of are like night owls
Yeah.
because I think
Typically.
it's the way that they how it is, they just like I think it's more calmer at night for them, and so they
Yeah.
calm down a little bit more and
I've read that they say something about like their body does not produce enough of like the hormones or whatever that typically would calm you at night. And
Mhm.
then also like their little time clock is different, like the circadian, I know like the circadian lighting, how it when the sun goes down, typically we tend to naturally calm, but it's a little different like for them, for most of well, some autistic
Mhm.
individuals. I won't say most, because I
Yeah.
have friends that have kids, their kids go to sleep like 8 o'clock at night with no problem. But
Yeah.
my kid, oh no, Asia's been up all night. She's always really been that way,
Mhm.
literally. So but with the sleep disorder, I actually didn't even know that that's what that was. I didn't even know that she had it until the neurologist told me, oh, she has a sleep disorder based on what I was describing as far as her sleep pattern.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's what that is. So he did prescribe some different medications for us to try. We tried a couple of them.
Mhm.
But we using like one of the first ones that he did prescribe. That's it's not really a sleep medicine. It's
Mhm.
just as he calls it, is to turn the volume down a bit. And
Oh, okay.
so help her to be a little more, calmer at night. So it doesn't put her to sleep, but it does make her a little more calmer to where she'll lay on down and just relax in the bed
Okay.
until she falls asleep. So
Yeah.
it's fine. But yeah, we're still working on the right cocktail to
Yeah.
help get her,
Katie cocktail.
so to speak, right. We're still working on that. But she also does take other supplements into what we do give with like omega-3 fish oil,
Mhm.
the pro and prebiotic, for the
Mhm.
gut health, because the gut health is
Probiotics, yeah.
connected to the brain health, and stuff like that.
Very
And then
important probiotics.
omega-3, right? And omega-3, they're say, or and I've also heard cod liver oil is good to
Hmm.
help reduce inflammation in the brain.
Okay.
So when the brain is not really inflamed, it's more, the child is more calm too. So we do stuff like that as well.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I might
you're welcome.
some of your insight
Yeah,
for my son. Because I mean, I already have him on probiotics, and it does help him to
yeah,
with his behaviors and his
hmm,
digestive issues. But also
yep.
his multivitamin, he also has omegas in it. So I think that
Mhm.
helps with some things.
All of it. It's a lot of good benefits from that stuff. And then too, a lot of kids do have gut health
Yeah.
issues and stuff like that, where like constipation and things like
Mhm.
that. And
Oh, yeah.
that can cause especially a nonverbal or minimally verbal child to have more behaviors because the stomach is messed up. Ironically, my mom wound up offering Asia some a green juice, like a green machine, with the fruits and vegetables in
Yeah.
it. One through Boathouse,
Hmm.
Boathouse, I think,
Yeah.
farms.
Well, I'll
And
check.
it has like the different I don't know what, like kale, spinach, all that
Yeah.
stuff, and in it. She started drinking that, never had any more problems with constipation
Really?
anymore.
Wow.
She drinks a cup of it every day.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, and
Yes,
a
smoothies
lot
are
of I
great.
know a lot of kids can't do it because some kids have like, food issues and texture,
Exactly.
but it works for us. It
That's
works
great.
for us.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, my son loves smoothies too, so I need actually
yeah,
get back on those because I used to
yeah,
drink smoothies like every day. Well, I try to drink smoothies like at least every other day or something like that,
yeah.
And he normally
Oh,
like
and this one,
with me.
we get it from it's at Walmart, I think at
Yeah.
Publix.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
That's
it
great.
helps. Oh yeah, you're welcome.
And
Yeah.
also, did you was there anything else you would like to share? Because I know that for I know you already introduced yourself, so you're gonna have a bio. Are you gonna have a bio ready and some links to share, right?
Yes, yes. I'll make sure I send them to you. But we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel, which I'm going to start back getting active on as well. Which there are some videos there from just like a little similar to what I've spoken about here, about how it was earlier, some signs and stuff that I saw, and how it affected me with the diagnosis and things like that. And then we also have our website, which is www.awesome, AUSOME, handup.org. So I will send you all of that information, and we can go ahead and include a little bio.
Yes,
So
definitely
yes.
in the description.
Mhm.
I'll include all that.
Yes, yes.
And also,
Okay.
did you have anything else to share?
No, that's about it. Just, everybody hang in there, all the autism parents, and also big shout out to the autism grandparents, that are super helpful to us, and it's like our backbone, so we appreciate them. My mom has definitely been very helpful and supportive from day one. So I'm grateful for her. And but yeah, other than that, no, just be kind to one another because everybody is on a different journey, whether it's an autism journey or not. And there's so much going on. We just gotta try to just coexist and be kind to one another. So that's
I
it.
agree. Definitely agree for
Mhm.
that one. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for being a great guest. I mean, and also, you're always welcome to come back. I'm sure
Thank you.
everyone always has more to share, especially with our kids. They have
Oh,
something going on, some new proudest moment, new milestone.
yes. So much to share often.
Yes,
But I
never
do
ending.
thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having us and for having me. And we do appreciate, the invitation. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Well, thank you so
All
much.
right.
I hope you have
Thank
a good
you. Okay, yes, you
rest of
too.
your
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.